Hello and welcome to KSB TV, one of our first streams on this new channel. Of course, we were streaming a lot on Crypto Sparbuch, and this is what we want to discuss first, guys. If you're watching on Crypto Sparbuch right now, please go to ksb.tv and watch the live stream there to support us as most as possible to get the algo going and to have a lot of subscribers there. That is at least our plan.
Exactly. So our goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible on the YouTube channel KSB TV. Hello from my side, everybody out there as well. And today we have plenty of crypto talk to talk about. Just in the first few minutes, we will talk about some general million Pulse Tour things, and then we will talk about HEX, about Pulsechain, which is about to launch, about PulseX, about Hedron, about Maximus token, and also about Pulse Doge.
And we want to talk about what is the best strategy for the fork, before the fork, after the fork, while the fork, and all those things we will discuss. And then, of course, we will have a special guest on our stream here today as well. So let's dive into the topic. Let's start the screen share. I have a couple of topics prepared for you guys. And first of all, we start with my Twitter. Because here, if we scroll down, you see all the things that I'm doing. I have new videos out with my girl, Yuri Hex. We have a stream coming up with Black Hexicans on Sunday, and then also a German YouTube channel that I just opened up again. And of course, we have here the KSB TV Million Pulse Tour. This is the first topic that we want to discuss today. First, let's go to our YouTube channel, Crypto Sparbuch. I see we have 4 people watching here, so you guys should jump over to KSB TV. So we see here 3 people watching, a little bit more. So I do not know exactly what is going on here. We need to increase the viewers. So please go and retweet that stream here. It is so important to really launch the Million Pulse Tour, to have all the subscribers and all the support from the HEX community. So Patrick, let's start with the auction. What is there to say? We have a silent auction going on since a couple of days. Here you see the rules and the benefits, and the auction is going pretty good. We have $98,000 already
as the highest bid.
As the highest bid. So what do we expect from the car? What are we doing with the funds of the car to kickstart the Million Pulse Tour?
So what you can do right now is you can buy the HEX R8, the HEX wrapped R8, where we drove with it through the country from September till March. And by doing so, you don't not only get the awesome, pretty fast, cool looking car, you also get like the 10,000 tier sponsorship level, and you would help out a ton to make the first financials when it comes to the Million Pulse Tour. There is a big tournament planned from us. Then there are 8 main one-day workshops planned starting in July. You can find it on the ksb.tv internet page. And now we would need some first capital, in order to book the venues, secure the venues, and so on. So it would help out a ton. So our goal is already reached, so we won't sell the car at a loss. But if there is somebody who likes the car, who likes what we are doing, who also wants to see so much promotion going on for Pulse and for PulseX, maybe you want to bid like a little higher, because each and every dollar you bid more there will go to the benefit of the 1 Million Pulse Tour.
And also one of the benefits for the buyer of the R8 is that he will receive the Dolphin sponsorship tier benefits for the Million Pulse Tour. I think this is basically like a free car. If you want to donate anyway to the Pulse Tour, the R8 is basically for free for you. But you mentioned the first couple of stops that we want to secure the venues and already start planning and so on. In June 19th, we have the Mission Beach Car Show meetup going on from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. And this is like the first event that we are planning to do with the R8 money. So this is it with our introduction. Let's jump into our crypto topic for today. Let's see if Ryan Lopez, our guest, is already in the green room. He is not. So let's start talking about our topics that you have prepared for us.
Sure. I would say we start with HEX, right? Because it's still mainly HEX show, and it was still our first cryptocurrency. It's the oldest of all the coins we want to talk about. So let's jump into HEX, and let's start also our screen share. What we can see here is like the HEX chart in the daily perspective, like a year a year. What you can see here, here it was like the Pulsechain sacrifice phase. Afterwards, a lot of misinterpretation that Pulsechain will launch pretty soon. Then we saw like this run up to the PulseX sacrifice phase, which was going on here. And due to general market conditions and still an ongoing downtrend in the HEX price chart, we saw like the HEX price floor here in March. Saw like a good run up in like 2 weeks ago, up to 20 cents. And then mainly due to the main market conditions, we saw the next drawdown. It went again like to the 11 cents, made like in this zone another drop down, spike to 14, and now finding its price at 13 right now. Let's see what happens here in the next couple of weeks. What we all expect is like a live stream from Richard Hart giving us a date announcement of when Pulsechain starts, and from there on it can be pretty quick that the HEX price can double or even more. Just bringing it in perspective, right here on the 13th of July, Richard tweeted that in 3 days the Pulsechain sacrifice phase will start. That was like below 9 cents, and 3 days later the high point was nearly at 20 cents, which is like 120%. So that would bring HEX like to the nearly to the $30 mark, if that would be similar.
So you are comparing the big payday here with the fork?
No, that was just like the start and the announcement of the sacrifice phase.
Of the sacrifice phase, sorry.
Yeah.
But what you're implying is here that the crypto prices are rising before an event. So let's see how high HEX can rise before the event. I think that's going to be really interesting when Richard Hart really comes out with the announcement when it is the fork, right? We have Kincaid Honey in the chat saying, can't wait to see you all on the tour. I'm also really excited. Thanks for your support. We have Villeneuve King saying, hi, what should I do? I only got 191,000 PLSX. I'm a 19-year-old that cannot put in new money. What should he do? He's in
if you're 19 years old, why can you don't put in more money? Go with your hands and work some more. No, actually, like, I'm just straightforward here. Yeah, if you're 19 years old and if you already had the possibility to put some money in, that I think your brain is working, and I hope your hands and your feet as well. So especially with 19, now the summer coming up, I'm sure you find some ways to get to some capital over the summer, because good cryptocurrencies tend to have their lowest price point within the first 100 days. So it would be cool if you can get some more money over the summer months, you know, with an internship or whatever.
But I think this is not the answer that Villeneuve wants to hear. He has his PLSX, and PLSX will do 10,000x. He will be financially set in the future. But I can say, as an early HEX investor, I wished so much I would have bought more HEX in the beginning. So
I'm sorry to tell you that, but you told me like 137,000, no?
191,000.
Yeah. It's not that much.
It's not that much. Well, PLSX will, of course, also do 6.5 million X in 10 years. So don't worry about that. But what Patrick is saying, use the opportunity. We have an opportunity only once in a lifetime where we have this fork with PLS and PLSX. So get your money ready and buy as much as you can. Get yourself a portfolio that you are comfortable with.
It's always, or it's mostly beneficial if you buy good crypto products or projects within their first few months.
All right. So, Patrick, this was the HEX price. Is there anything about the strategy that we can tell people that are new in holding HEX, or should they maybe consider something else?
Yeah. So if you're completely new to the space and you want to do something over the fork, I would actually not recommend to buy HEX right now, because HEX is a pretty volatile asset, and especially when it comes to HEX, of course you have the opportunity for a nice rise up to the fork, but you have the risk of a huge sell-off after the fork, because the fork means that everybody doubles the amount of HEX he holds, and therefore it might be beneficial to buy a different ERC20 token right now, because it could hold its value better over the fork.
So let's get into this topic. What kind of token are you talking about?
For example, Maxi.
All right. So, what would be a reason why Maxi would be not that volatile as Hex? I mean, we can look at the price chart first of all.
I mean, it's not that it's not that volatile. It's still volatile as well. So it had its high here at 28 and the low point here at under 19 cents. So if we just calculate the price range here within what is that? This is like less than 2 days. Also like 36.6%. But Maxi is still holding its pace like compared to Hex, because we started with Maxi like 1-to-1 with Hex, and now by the Maxi community not selling any of their Maxi coins because they just like it, because it represents a maxed out hex stake. They don't really sell, and so the Maxi price chart is just a little depending on the hex price chart, but it holds its pace a little better.
Maybe, Patrick, that's great, because our stream is called Strategy for Everyone. And Villeneuve is saying, you are right, I will try to get it. I was thinking to swap PLSX for a token with a high percentage yield and stake for 5 years. I'm guessing he is talking about Hex here. So if PLSX ENC has a liquidity of 350%, I will swap PLSX for incentive token. Is that wise? That's hard to say yet. Now we do not know the incentive token yet, right?
Yeah, we don't know any tokenomics of the incentive token. That's why we never talked about this, because it's I don't know how it's created. You know, if there is a pre-mine phase and then this pre-minted incentive tokens, they get like thrown out as an incentive for the liquidity pools. Really no idea, but and that's why I wouldn't like speculate in exchanging my Pulse X for the incentive token, especially if the incentive token is just a inflationary token used to give additional incentive to liquidity providers. Then I wouldn't buy that incentive token at all. Actually, I would just provide some liquidity and get it over time. But if we go back to a smaller volume portfolio, then I would more use the opportunity for Maxi, for example. Just let's take our onboarding account where we just make giveaways and never put it back into US dollars. I had like 60,000 hex in the onboarding account, while the Maxi smart contract was in the minting phase, like 1-to-1, and I decided to put all my liquid hex into Maxi, because Maxi is like a one-time thing, and I would like to have the opportunity to give, for example, 555.5 Maxi to somebody in 5 years as well, and I didn't want to buy it then at first with a premium, for example. So I decided to move all my hex into Maxi, and yeah, it looks like a good move there. No?
It was a real chat decision to do exactly that, like an all-in into Maxi, and it turned out really, really good. Black Hexican is in the chat as well, so welcome. Thank you so much for being here. 99 cent super chat donation just to make sure it really, really works. So this one is
super chats are enabled on our channel,
well, but it is on the Crypto Sparbook YouTube channel, and we want to transition over to KSB TV on English. So Crypto Sparbook will be only in German in the future, and KSB for the English community. So if you are an English native speaker, please go to ksb.tv right now and subscribe. That would help a lot. Thank you, guys. We have Sticker Guy also in the chat saying the resistance line is way too bearish. What you can say about that, Patrick?
Yeah, what he says is this red line here.
Well, yeah, of course. The red line, why would that be bearish though? We have the fork coming up as well. I'm guessing that the bearish line will not be significant at all when we're getting close to this price range.
Yeah, I mean, you can also see like if you go with this or this green line and the bearish downtrend, that the triangle like comes to an end, and I expect that the downtrend will soon be broken. But yes, it looks pretty sharp with 1, 2, 3 points. That's why I'm also like saying, okay, if I would be completely new right now, I don't know if I really would buy HEX up front of the fork, because of course then there is a tendency that cryptocurrency rise in front of a big event, and it can easily have like this move here on the left where it rose 120% in just 3 days. But it can also not happen, and I don't know. I cannot bet on that thing, and that's why I personally would buy something else right now, and I wouldn't go with Hex over the fork if my idea is more Pulse X and Pulse. If my idea is just Hex, then I just think about, do I just want to have Hex or do I want to buy Maxi? And if I just want to buy Hex, do I want to stake that through a HSI stake afterwards, for example?
So a lot of options, as you guys see.
Yes.
For us to make money in the future, it's crazy. Stefan is in the chat and he's saying, "Hey, meine Lieben," just a greeting in German. Thank you so much that you are here and let us know about how are you thinking about crypto. So thank you very much, Stefan, for being here in the chat and supporting us. Please, it will be very nice to know about how you are thinking about coin. So how do you get rid of scams? You get rid of scams about while not talking about them. So this is really, really important. So let me quickly remove that comment. All right, Patrick, is there anything else that you have to talk about when it comes to Hex before and after the fork?
Yeah, so it will definitely be pretty volatile. We will see if we have like this upwards volatility before the fork, and then I'm pretty sure that once the fork hits, we will see kind of a sell-off, because it's typically what crypto markets do. Because let's go back here in the chart history and go to the time when it was the last time that somebody like this happened in the hex market, speaking that people got more hex for free, and that was in November 2020. It was called the big payday, where every short-term staker got like 32% more, every long-term staker got 100% more. What are you doing down there? So and let's look at the chart while we had the big payday. So big payday was known for a year that it will be on this date. So when it comes to Pulsechain launch, the chart picture will definitely be more squeezed, because here we had like nearly 3 weeks from the highest point to the lowest. We also had like this run up beforehand, and as you can see, the day before the actual event and the day on the event, both days were like pretty bad days to sell something. And one of the worst strategy in our point of view is to sell some of your hex before the fork, because it could be that you never get the same amount of hex on both chains back. Just for example, if you have bought 10,000 hex, and after the fork you would have 10,000 hex on the east side and 10,000 hex on the Pulsechain side. And if you then say, okay, no, I don't want to have this fork, I want to make my gains by trading hex, then you buy now your 10,000 hex for $1,300, and then it depends. Let's say it goes up to 30 cents, and then you sell it for $3,000, and then after the fork you maybe are not in there in this little wick here, and 3 hours later you turn on your computer again and then you're up here, then it might be already like at 20 cents again. So then you would need $4,000 to buy your 10,000 hex on this and on this side back. So what I wanted to say is that if you want to trade the fork, then you would need the hex price to fall at least 50% in order to make a trade, compared to just buy hex now and leave it over the fork.
And we have Huddlelog here in the chat, also agreeing with Black Hexagon. They're saying if they were new, they would still buy Hex. Well, your opinion is a little bit different. Maybe you can explain again to Huddlelog, why would you consider buying Maxi right now?
If I'm new and I want to buy Hex because I want to have Hex, then yes, let's go with Hex. But think about Maxi as well. But if I am new and want to have Pulsex and Pulsechain coin (PLS), then I won't go over Hex, because what is my goal anyways? My goal anyways is to get more Pulse and more Pulsex, and not like to have Hex and increase my Hex back. And that's why I won't, for those games, for those plays, I won't recommend going with the Hex price, because I see like that the Maxi price is less affected by the price volatility of Hex. Or there is also a different coin right now, which might be a good play over the fork as well.
Yeah, agreeing to that for sure. Stefan is saying here, hey, thanks for your answer. I did know that this was a scam. Well, we do not know what coins are scam, right? We had just the Luna things going on right now, where Luna was listed everywhere, exchanged it, loved it. The YouTubers loved Luna, and now it went to zero. And this is the reason why I talk, or the Crypto Spark team KSB TV is talking about Hex, Pulse, and Pulse X mainly. And there are also some other coins like Hedron and Maxi that are cool too. Oh, Patrick, we have a couple of other coins prepared for us, right? We have not talked about Maxi too much, about Hedron, and then there's PLS. So are there other topics that you have prepared for us right now in your tabs there?
Yes, sure. So let's finish like the Maxi talk. If you want to learn about Maxi, just go to maximus.cash. I will just refresh the page, because we are just getting some price movements of Hex. Even Hex moves, Maxi compared to the US dollar, Maxi moves as well. But here we still have people who like missed the only 14-day minting phase, and right now we still see like a 54.4% premium on the Maxi. Right, like 2 hours ago it was like over 60, and yesterday it was even 70%, because there was nobody in the Maxi community who was selling down his coins.
Well, Patrick, now with all your Maxi talk, you are incentivizing the people to ask questions. And Massimo is asking, what if I want to swap my Hex into Maxi now? Would you recommend me to do that right now, or shall I wait for the Hex price to rise?
You don't need to wait until the Hex price rises, because you have already Hex, right? So it does not matter if the Hex price rises, because if the Hex price rises, Maxi rises the same, because they are like correlated to each other. If I want to buy like 10,000 Hex, with 10,000 Hex Maxi, I would get 6,400 out of it. And then it depends, what do you want to do with it? Do you want to trade with it directly after the fork, or do you only want to have Maxi in order to have something more valuable than Hex in your hand?
But right now, with the fork coming up, the people want to have more Pulse X. Well, this is the game. A lot of people have to find out what is the perfect ratio. But my guess is that he wants to use his Hex or the Maxi later on to then use buy Pulse or Pulse X, because he is asking, what do you think? How many X can Pulse and Pulse X do, Patrick?
So Pulse and Pulse X are, first of all, a new blockchain, or two new coins which have really, really good fundamentals. And coins with good fundamentals tend to rise a lot in the future from their inception, from their starting point. For example, Ethereum rose 10,000x in 2.5 years. Hex did the same 10,000x in a little less than 2 years. And Pulse and Pulse X are definitely also, from the fundamentals, like the same. So also good fundamentals. They're not like the same. You know what I wanted to say? It's like parecido. It's like
they have the same product market fit, right?
Yeah.
Something is really needed right now, and this is low transaction cost, because Ethereum is basically that. And this is why I believe we have this product market fit, and I see PLS and PLSX doing 10,000x in the next 2 years, because exactly that, they have this product market fit.
And you're speaking about fees. I mean, it's not too bad right now.
But it was unreasonable in the past what Ethereum did to
Yeah.
us, right? Nido with the next super chat donation here. Thank you so much. Greeting from Germany, from Nido, €1.99. This will all go towards the Million Pulse Tour and will be used especially to promote Hex Pulse and PulseX in the future. So thank you so much for that. So what do you have here? You have Ethereum open to show us the gas fees?
Yeah, I just wanted to show the gas fees. It's not too bad right now, but in the last 2 days we saw like exceptional high fees as well. So it doesn't matter if the Ethereum price is up or down. It just matters volume, and also the volume to the downside was like huge in the last couple of days. That's why we saw like hundreds and hundreds of gray prices again.
So one other question from Massimo is, I want to use it for the pre-bridge to swap into PLS. So he wants to get more Pulsechain. So you guys believe Maxi would be the better choice?
Might be, but I guess there is even a better choice for that, and we will come to that a little later on in the stream. We are still waiting for our guest, and with our guest I want to speak about that.
All right. So Hodlock is saying, hey guys, thank you for the donation, but 25% goes to YouTube. So better donate directly to the team. And you can do that if you go to ksb.tv. There you can donate with your credit card. You can make a tier contribution of the shell until to the Poseidon. So feel free to contact us at ksb.tv if you want to make a serious donation. But those super chats, they are really, really cool.
Do you think that Hodldog might want to be the Poseidon of the 1 million Pulse Tour?
I bet you Hotdog would love to be the Poseidon. Who knows if he's able to really do it? Hotdog, go to KSB TV and check out our tier system. That would be great.
That would be great, yeah.
Black Hexicans is saying, visit ksb.tv to see how you can support the Million Pulse Tour. Exactly. There you can find the tier system or sponsorship, exhibition packages where you can maybe bring your favorite coin along. I mean, we can talk about Maxi, Hedron, Mintra, right? That could have booths at our Million Pulse Tour.
Yeah, so let's talk about Hedron.
Hedron, okay, let's talk about Hedron because somebody wants to talk about Pulse Doge, but this is what we will do later on in the stream.
Exactly. So Pulse Doge is also still on the list, and actually, yeah, there is something to talk about. But first of all, let's also talk about Hedron. Hedron, if you don't know it, is free for active HEX stakers, and in their first 100 days, they also started with a bonus. First 10 days with a 10x bonus, and then 9x, 8x, and there is still a 2x bonus to get. And started off with a huge run up in only 9 days, like 1,300% or something, and then came back down, made a 86% drop, ran up like because it's the 4-hour chart. Like basically when things started to go down on the crypto market, and then was also affected by the crypto downtrend. But yeah, this upwards trend is still holding. Down here we got a nearly, what did I say, 86% drop, which is a good amount of drop. But still, when it comes to Hedron, I see the risk that this 10x bonus what Hedron had in the first 10 days will be overused by Hex OGs, because the higher up you're in the staking ladder, the more Hedron you got, and you never needed to purchase a single Hedron. So there is plenty of sell pressure in my point of view.
All right, so the next question is already about Hedron. Stefan is asking, please one more question or maybe two. Yeah, please,
Sure.
Let's speak about the future about Hedron. You just did that, and Pulse Doge as well. You see how excited the people are about Pulse Doge. And we just had Ryan here in our private chat saying he has a couple of issues. We do not know if we can bring him on yet. So Patrick, why don't we start talking about Pulse Doge? You give us our elevator pitch, what Pulse Doge is, how you are able to claim it for free.
Sure, then let's go on the website, pulsedoge.com.
Nedo is saying, I was chatting with some crypto YouTubers and trying to explain them Pulsechain, and it was asking them to do research and maybe a video. But their opinions was that Richard Hart is a charlatan. Why is so hated? Well, this is just normal. Imagine you hold Bitcoin, you bought Bitcoin for a long time, you love your Bitcoin, and now it's really hard to accept that there is something better out there. And of course, this goes the same with the Ethereum community. They're trying to gatekeep where it just works. But I think we are just getting rid of the gatekeeping right now. We have so many big names advocating for Hex
What's
and
up, guys?
X right now. And we have
Hey, there's
Ryan Lockers
Ryan.
here in the chat. So
Hey,
how's it going?
hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
Really, really good.
Yeah.
Let's give us some feedback about the audio. Do we have feedback, anything? Because your audio is definitely sounding really great.
Okay. No, previously I was trying to connect with my phone and I had my earbuds in, and for some reason they just wouldn't connect. So now I have just like this is kind of I'm on my laptop and have this little kind of weird headset thing, but it's all good.
No problem. We hear you
Yeah.
loud and clear. Patrick has Pulse Storage already open, and the people really want to talk about that. We already talked about Hex. We talked a little bit about strategy, about Pulse and Pulse X, Hedron and Maxi, and now we are on talking about Pulse Storage. So,
Yeah, so Ryan, first of all, thank you for coming by. We saw you pretty active in the Pulse chain Telegram chat room, and saw that you really did your homework on that one, and
Yeah.
that you really like the coin, and that's why we invited you on the show today
Of
to
course.
talk a little bit about
Yeah.
Pulse Dogecoin. What is it, and what idea is behind it, and also what do you think if Pulse Dogecoin is a better play over the fork if your goal is to get more Pulse X and Pulse coins?
Yeah, so I've been doing research on kind of all the coins that are coming out, and the last video that I just made, I went over my criteria for what I think is an acceptable coin in the Pulse chain in the upcoming Richard Heart ecosystem, and that is no admin keys, some kind of relation of airdrop to stakers, cool, complex, or some kind of new game theory. And I'm trying to think what the other things were. But this one, Pulse Doge, Hedron, and Maxi, those are the coins that are out that currently that I think could be successful on Pulse Chain. Oh, also they have to be already launched on Ethereum. So my opinion is that if anything is already launched on Binance and claiming that they're going to launch on Pulse Chain, that's not guaranteed. That's not guaranteed. And Binance, that's Richard Hart's enemy. That's his enemy chain. So I don't think you can take any of those coins seriously. So now getting back to Pulse Doge, it kind of took what Hedron did, and with the giving an airdrop to Hex Stakers, and it twisted it a little bit, doing a bell curve distribution. So
Yeah, and that's exactly what we see here right now. The airdrop distribution visualized in the screen share.
and why is
yeah,
that so great here? Why is this the distribution game theory so important?
Yeah, so that to me is pretty interesting. At first you might think, oh, it's kind of simple or so what, but the more you think about it, that means that there's no predetermined whales in the ecosystem. So
Mm-hmm.
the only way to become a whale is the whale actually has to buy their position with their own money, and in sense they should value that position more as compared to just getting it for free. So
Yeah.
that to me is kind of interesting, to where it's like the whales really have to make their position and just kind of and buy their way up, because there are really no existing whales.
Yeah, absolutely true. Oh, okay, we
Yeah.
flew out.
Right now, the camera is frozen. I'm working on that, but we can still
We
go
still
on.
have audio.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
so then explain a little more. So you're saying that the Hex whales did not got like the most for Pulse Doge. So how does that actually work?
Yeah, and I think there's only at the snapshot there were only, I think, like 9 or 10 potential whales that could claim their thing, and I don't think any whales have even claimed their airdrop yet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only like what, 300 or something Pulse Doge.
Yeah,
So
yeah, really. Because if you go like a little up here, if you are a whale, you only got 300 free Pulse Doge coins. Yeah, so
yeah.
there are 14 whales in total with only 300 Pulse Doge each. So the whales have only 4,200 coins to sell, which have right now a net value of like $8,500.
Yeah, so there can't really be that much, like existing potential sell pressure, which
Yeah.
it kind of gives like a kind of a unique little ecosystem thing. And it's exciting to see. I think once Pulsechain launches, it could be something. And I think it's good to have, like a native meme coin on Pulsechain for Hexicans, because
Mhm.
this way it can protect us against potential meme coin communities coming in and stealing Hexicans away. So this could be like a protection for the Hexicans, I think, potentially. But yeah, it's only like a few weeks old, so it's still kind of it's still in its claim phase and still kind
Mhm.
of coming out, so it's still pretty new here.
Then do you know like why the initiator choose to give the Hex OA some coins as well, and what
Oh yeah,
the
that's
Pulse Dogecoin
pretty
address is?
that's pretty interesting too. So you have the OA gets 10 Pulse Doge per claim. I think that the current number is like around 16,000. So currently, if it ended today, the OA would get like 160,000 Pulse Doge, and also the BA would also get 160,000 Pulse Doge. And the BA has already, in my opinion, marked its position as being like a benevolent address in the ecosystem, because he burned 50,000 of the that he received for the initial liquidity already. So
Mm-hmm.
I would think that he would try to protect it. Then you got to just think, okay, what will the OA do? Will he just do nothing? Will he put up a sell wall? Who knows? But that the OA will have the option to a large portion of the Pulse Doge. So it's pretty interesting. And this chart here is Shiba. Shiba Inu pumped really hard. Meme coins do pump really hard. Is this one going to pump really hard? Who knows? But I see it as a really rare collectible meme coin, and it's a limited edition. It has this 100-day claim phase. The first one to do it, airdrop to all Hexican stakers. And I just think that I think for any Hexican who's really die hard, it's a good one to have in your portfolio. There's no admin keys. And its pitch is that it's a very rare, scarce coin. So I
Mm-hmm.
think now
Today,
it's go ahead.
Today, for our stream, we want to talk about strategies. And Massimo here is saying, so you are saying that Pulse Dogecoin might actually be the best choice for the pre-bridge PLS ratio trade. And then our German stream, we were discussing something similar with Maxi. Maybe if you're new.
No, also like with Pulse Doge, and that's really my opinion. That with Pulse Dogecoin, especially if your total volume is lower than $10,000, you might get more out of this trade if you go with Pulse Doge, because I think there will be pools pre-bridge, so there will be a pool between Pulse Doge and PLS, and Pulse Doge and PLSX. And if your volume is not too big, because those pools would not be like filled with liquidity, you might be able to get more pulls with your copied Pulse Doge coins than with copied Hex.
Yeah, potentially. And I see right now Pulse Doge is getting a head start. It's building its community up. It's getting ready. It's already launched on Ethereum. That's huge. Already launched on Ethereum. Maximus already launched on Ethereum, and it's going vertically up. That's great. It's at a really high premium right now. Hedron had its a magnificent exponential move upwards. It's kind of cooled off now. I think it got into a little bit of a bubble. It got overpriced too quick. It
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
cooled down now.
definitely, yeah.
So,
Yeah, and
Ryan, we
so
have
yeah,
Nido
go ahead.
here saying, how do we get PLSD? Just buying Doge on ETH and then the copy and PLSD?
Yeah, exactly. So you just go
Yeah.
here on Uniswap, you go, for example, to your USDC or whatever stablecoin you like, or even Ethereum, and then you just put PLSD there. And if you say, okay, I have $10,000, then I will. Then you have a little price impact already. So, but with $10,000, maybe you want to do 2 times 5,000 or something like that, and it would give you about 5,000 coins right now.
Yeah, yeah, it's super exciting, and I think it started at $1. So why not 10x, 100x, maybe even 1,000x. So and the supply is very limited right now. It's around 4 million supply, and it's really slowing down. The free claims are really slowing down. So I think there's like 75 days more left. I'm projecting that the total supply might be out to like 4.5, maybe 5 million once it's over.
I
And
don't
there's
think even that we go over 4.5, Ryan. I
yeah,
guess it's like
yeah,
barely any more will come
it's
because
done.
everybody who has like big portfolios already claimed, in my point of view. So only like
I
a
agree.
few,
I agree.
uh, that maybe a few percent that we see more in the next 2 months.
Crypto
Yeah,
Lucky Box is saying, awesome idea, fellas. Might have to take advantage of this.
yeah.
and
I
and
think
yeah,
it's
also like the price performance looks pretty okay.
mhm,
It had like this spikes up because of low liquidity. You
mhm,
see total liquidity was 150,000, so it's not high.
mhm.
um but yeah.
Yeah,
um
yeah. I think it's a great buy. It's a good entry point. I like Hedron at these prices. I like Maxi as well, but Maxi maybe wait for until it comes at a discount. Will it even go at a more discount?
no,
Who know?
it
Who
more,
knows?
but it won't never get to actual discount is my prediction, because when you look at maximus.cash at the dashboard, this premium is calculated compared to 1 to 1. And if you calculate it as like with the backing one, I don't see Maxi ever going like at a discount.
That's a bold
Yeah,
statement.
that's yeah.
Maxi never going trading as a discount, a one to below 1 to 1. But I hope to see it like 2 to 1 in the future, and then when it falls to like 1.5 to 1 again, then it's basically a
Yeah.
discount already,
So
right?
you guys think that Maxi will never fall to a under 1-to-1 discount?
Yes.
It looks like right now,
Looks
right?
yeah, yeah, it
Bitwatcher
looks
has
like
the
yeah.
same opinion about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
if you calculated it with the backing in, let's say, like 3 to 5 years, when the backing is already like 2 point something hex, and I don't know, a few hundred hedron per maxi. But as of right now, I cannot see anything which brings this premium really down. Only people who really went all in into maxi and need to take some profits right now. But
Yeah.
other than that, there is
Yeah.
nobody in the maxi community who is selling, because they are
Yeah, it's
mostly long time holders, and the coins are splitted perfectly decentralized as well. If I can show you that, if you go on dex.guru, that's a new site for
oh yeah, I
so-
like
for
that.
that. And then you go to maxi, um, zip, and then you let the site load. And if you go to the mushroom up there, then
Yes.
you see like the token profile, and here on the left side you also have like top token holders, and
So
that's pretty.
everybody's already way up
Yeah, but
with
because
with the moon.
the top holder only holds like 4.5% of all the maxis, and it's pretty.
Look at his average price was
Yeah. So he
pretty
was
bad.
buying as
It
well.
came in
So
late. Yeah,
yeah,
super
because
late.
here 15 cents, 13 cents. So he definitely only minted 1 to 1 in the minting phase. All
Yeah,
those 13 people, guys, they minted definitely in the phase, I guess. Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I'm super bullish on Maxi. I'm super bullish on Hedron, and I'm super bullish on Pulse Doge. I'm
So,
really bullish
Ryan,
on all three. Yep,
we
go
have
ahead.
here
Hmm.
somebody in the chat, and I want to have your guys' opinion about that. Stefan is saying, I'm so sure that Hedron after the bonus phase will rise so much. After the bonus phase, it will start to work and will pump so much. So he's really hyped about Hedron.
Hedron.
Patrick, you
Yeah.
have your opinion about
Hmm.
Hedron. We heard Ryan is really excited about that as well.
Because
But let me give
honestly,
you, I want to hear your opinion about that first.
yeah, honestly, I'm not too bullish when it comes to Hedron,
Okay.
because this 10x bonus in the first 10 day, I think that will murder the Hedron price in the long run.
Yeah.
So that it can make like something like those short run-ups, yeah, because people are just waiting it out, or also like some like those run-ups here, but then you see the Hexicans, maybe they mint a few billion or something like that. All the big holders use the 10x bonus in the first 10 days, and I really don't see too much of a bright future for Hedron, because until 2036, those early people have the 10x bonus of the whole launch rate.
Yeah, that's a good point. And there may be a lot of supply coming out with that 10x multiplier, or even 9x or 8x's, and that could be for a while. And
Yep.
I don't but again, that might just be FUD, and it might just power through it. Who knows?
Okay,
Who
then
knows?
let me ask you. I mean, it's not unknown that you're a early hex taker, Ryan. Yeah, like
Yeah.
we are as well.
Yeah.
So something like Hedron we got completely free and with a
Yeah.
10x bonus on top. Something like Maxi, we needed hex for that, and we only minted it one by one. So you still have like the same connection to your purchased hex to your maxi. Same goes with Pulse Dogecoin. As you said, you needed to buy it. So who needed to buy Hedron? Only people who don't have Hedron. But all like the whale stakers, the dolphin stakers, the squid stakers, they got tons and tons of free Hedron. And if they claimed their whole ladder, like you and us did as well, there is a lot of sell pressure in the future.
Exactly what Patrick is referring about, the sell pressure, right? And maybe the buy pressure is not there, but what really speaks for Hedron, in my opinion, is that we have NFTs, right, in Hedron, and maybe the NFT community would embrace.
I mean, I love HSI staking, yeah. So I would say if I want to buy hex right now to keep this hex and not like to play around with those hex after the fork, I would do a 5555 HSI stake with that. So I really like HSI staking, and I'm personally using it as well.
The thing is, right now, if somebody wanted to practice T-share preservation and they had some liquid hex and they wanted to preserve the T-shares, how would you recommend them doing it? With what method? Would you recommend them doing an HSI? Would you recommend them doing it with a native hex stake? Would you recommend them just maybe buying some Maxi and having some liquid shares?
I think it's really easy to answer.
Right now, I would say HSI stake, because Maxi with the 50-60% premium, it's pretty. It's a high premium, my point of view. But I mean, we don't have any history. Maybe it's a low premium.
That's what I'm saying. With Maxi, you get 10% bigger pays better bonus. You would not get that by yourself. And when you're new to crypto, I think this is exactly what.
Yeah, but does that mean because when I buy hex right now, I get like 10,000 hex or 6,500 maxi, So those 3,500 coin difference, does that make up for those 10%?
Well, I guess then the solution is to have exposure in hex, in maxi, in Hedron, and of course also Plsd, just to play it safe.
That's what I think too.
And then you're 19 years old and you have $300 to invest. What do you do?
Yeah.
I think this is a pretty good question here that you asked, because we have a similar question in the chat. Maximus is saying, what do you think it is the best post-bridge strategy? Get in one day, fresh money? Get in with fresh money, or wait for a potential dip within the first 100 days?
Both. So a post-bridge strategy is, of course, after the bridge is live and you got more money, you change this money for stable coins, bridge them over to the Pulsechain network, and then you still have stable coins on the Pulsechain network. And on the Pulsechain network, there are nearly no fees. So if you bridge over like $1,000, $10,000, then you can make 1,000 trades with that, 10 trades with that. So you can really split your money into a lot of parts, like $50, like $100. When you have $1,000, you can make 20 trades with that, each worth $50, for example. And then you can just wait to red candles. Okay, now like the last 2 days, what we saw on the crypto market. Okay, we saw like big red candles right now. Let's start with our $50, with our $100 buy. Yeah. For example, when I entered the hex market, Ryan had the same, you had the same. Within the first 100 days, we bought like at 60 or 70 of those days, for example, only to get an average price. We knew, okay, in the beginning the price might be the best, but nobody of us knew when was the actual lowest price point. Nobody knew it up front that it will be day 33, and nobody knew it after day 33 that we won't go lower than that, for example. So what we did is just like purchase a lot of days and get a
Average
nice
in.
average price.
Yeah.
So Ryan, next question for you, and maybe
Sure.
Patrick, you have to add. Crypto Luckbox is saying thoughts on swapping P-Hedron for HEX or PLS or PLSX after Pulsechain launch pre-bridge. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's really hard to say, and anything can happen. I don't really plan to do any kind of radical movements of moving things and pre-swapping or anything like that. My position is I try to get in at good entry points in projects that I believe in and just hold long term. So I have my Hedron, I'm holding. I have Maxi holding. I have my Pulse Doge, and I'm just holding it. I have my sacrifice for Pulsechain, sacrifice for Pulse X. I'm just gonna hold it. I'm just kind of just sitting tight with all my positions, but I guess it just depends on your risk tolerance, what you want to do. If you want to try to take some, I mean, there really is no clear answer. There really is no clear answer.
I think the Hex line has a really clear answer for us. If you would have to make a list, Patrick, on what coin you would sell first, like what coin would be up there in the rankings?
Yeah, everything besides
to get HEX, PLS, and PLXX. That's the question.
Yeah. At first, like every ERC20 token besides the Richard Hart ecosystem and Hedron and Maxi, and Pulse Doge, and then like what comes first? Honestly, at first I would say there comes Hedron to sell, because Hedron is still a coin which the HEX Stake has got for free. So I would get rid of that first.
Yeah.
Then the next coin which has like the next, like a little more value after the fork to buy like Pulsex and Pulse, in my point of view, would be Maxi, but Maxi still depends like on the HEX price. So it also drops when HEX price drops, and the two thing.
The third one
And
must
the
be
third one, which
Plsd.
holds its value in my point of view over the fork, would be the Pulse Dogecoin. Yes.
Oh man,
Nice.
my third
Wow.
one would be HEX. So
Nice.
my first one P-Hedron for sure. Second one, what did it say? What is
So the second one was Maxi.
Maxi, and then the third one HEX.
Yeah,
Maxi and HEX you can change for each other.
I would actually go with HEX line as well in that same order, and I think Pulse Doge should preserve its value the most because it wasn't given to you for free. I mean, yes, a small portion was, but if you want to have like an actual position, be in top 50, top 20, top 10, which top 10 isn't even that much money. If somebody wanted to come in, I think, and buy 40,000 Pulse Doge, it's like what? That's like $2, and that maybe with some slippage, you're looking at maybe like 100 grand, 110, 100, whatever. So if you come in, you could be a whale for 100 grand and Pulse Doge, and you'll be a positioned whale that has actually bought their way in and not given to it for free with other whales who have bought their positions. I think that could hold some value. I think that could really hold some value. And there's no inflation, there's no deflation. It's just a rare, a rare collectible meme coin, first one ever to HEX stakers.
So for top 10, you not even need 20,000 coins. For top 10, you need barely 20,000 coins.
Okay, so yeah, it's like 50 grand ish.
Yeah, for 40,000. So right now we have a price of $2. So yes, with the slippage, if you really buy like 40,000 at one go, you won't get like 20,000 coins. But yeah, if you make like a few purchases or go with liquidity, I guess it's not too hard if you have the money to get up there.
That to me, I think there's opportunity, because if you look at the top 50 of like Hedron or Maxi, the positions, I think the dollar amount is a lot larger. It's a lot larger. So I think there's opportunity there. I really do. Go ahead, Avid. I think you're saying.
Stefan is saying a couple of nice things in German, then saying that for new investors, it would be good to hold Hedron. I do not know about that. I would put Hedron in my last position of my portfolio because, of course, like we all are pretty much the same. Patrick, you and me, we all are really early Hex investors. Our staking ladder is set, and we all sacrifice for Pulse and Pulse X, so they're not too big of a moves for us to expect. But like you said, it is maybe a big opportunity to get into Pulse Dodge right now, because it is so easy to climb up the ladder there, right?
I show you something else here. Just because Mars just showed me the site out before the stream, and I like it because I like numbers. Here, what we see is top token holders, and in this line here, we see the change in the last 7 days. And
that's great.
and when it's green, it means that this guy increased his Pulse Doge portfolio by $34,000 in the last no, for 34,000 PLS token more
Yeah.
in the last days. Yeah, so it's about tokens. So the first two holders still bought 34,000, 25,000, 33,000. The top four, number four, sold. But only
I think that's a Uniswap liquidity pool.
That's the Uniswap liquidity pool.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay. But okay. So there we see that people suck out the liquidity from the liquidity pool, right? Meaning that they buy. So what happened here? I need to go back to my.
Well, you go back and
my MetaMask disconnected. So you need to have a connected MetaMask in order to see all the cool shit by this. So, yeah.
But we will do that next time.
Yeah, but just go there yourself. Go on dex.guru, put in Plsd, and there you can really see how the top holders are not selling it down. And that the price drop only come because the Pulse Doge coin is still dependent a little bit on the price movement of Hex as well. So the biggest pool is, I guess, with Hex, right?
And I think this is because of the ecosystem that we have, right? With Hex, the people are used to long-term investing, and I think this is why the Maxi people, they are not selling their Maxi. The Plsd people, they're not selling their meme coin, of course, because it's so rare. They expect a lot of gains. It's just basically.
I mean, there are a lot of Plsd holders who are selling all those free claimers, no, not all the free claimers, but a lot of free claimers. So, for example, I guess Ryan has better numbers, but there is a number for holders and there is a number for claims. And the claims are like a few thousand people more than holders.
I think there's like 16,000 claims total, and holders is at like 11,000 something. Yeah. So that's, maybe 4,000 people have sold and just sold completely out.
Yeah, they don't have any more pools in their wallet. Otherwise, they would still be in the holders.
So as of right now, I do not have any more things going on in the chat. So Ryan, I want to ask you: is there anything that we forgot to talk about about Plsd? Because we have not talked about it too much on our channel. Of course, when it came on April 21st, we talked about it, and everybody who was listening to Crypto Sparbook was claiming. But is there anything from the game theory that we have not talked about too much yet?
I think we covered it pretty good. I think it's new. I think it's rare. It's scarce. I think a lot of people might be afraid of it. They might think, oh, it's just a meme coin. There's no value. But the more I think about it with meme coins, I think the value is its community. The value is the engagement. The value is there being accounts making active tweets every day. There being chat rooms. There's being memes, and I think that in a way gives value to that token. So that's what I think the value is for Pulse Doge. It's the first, what I think, official meme coin to be launched within the Hex ecosystem. And it's sitting at I think a decent price. And the game theory, that the bell curve distribution was, I think, pretty cool. That is what I would say is like the innovative game theory thing that it took from, because Hedron came out with that the first airdrop thing, which was pretty innovative, but then you have this bell curve distribution flip on it, which is just like, wow, that's really interesting now. And so now if you really want to climb the ranks, you have to buy your way in, and you have to really be like a true whale that you put up your own money. So that to me is really interesting. And I think it's a rare collectible for diehard Hexicans. So that's kind of my thought on it, going forward.
But thank you so much for this elevator pitch. I think this was great. And you guys definitely put on my FOMO pants when it comes on to Plsd. Guys, I want to try something out. We do not have too much going on in chat, and the 60 minutes are over. We do not want to hold you hostage, Ryan. Our
Sure.
stream will soon be over. But before it's
Okay.
over, I want to do a little Q&A. But how do we do it? We want to do the Q&A. Just the next couple of questions for the next 5 minutes will only be answered on ksb.tv YouTube channel, because I see in the German old YouTube channel, Crypto Sparbuch, we have 35 people watching, which is amazing. Thank you so much for that. But I want you guys to transition over to ksb.tv. Go in there right now, and every question you ask in there, we will answer. So I will go into this chat right now, and let's see what kind of questions we will see in the next 5 minutes before the stream is over. Hex Huddle is saying, great work, and Dex Guru is cool. I use it also.
Nice.
Yeah, the Dex Guru, it's a pretty nice site. I like to play around with it. I mean, now that I found out about it, I just just found out about it today. But I really like to play around with it. So it also says the holders here. It says like how they increased or decreased. It says like how much swaps, only like 89 swaps in the last 24 hours. So there is really holders making money. Okay. Okay, that's interesting.
So my call really helped. More people are coming over to ksb.tv right now. One question that I have here, please do you know it's the easiest way to come in by Pulse with Ethereum in the future, or should you rather buy USDC, for example, to then bridge it over to a Pulse chain? What do you guys think?
I mean, depending how fast you do it. So if you do it like in one go, okay, so now I have like 1,000 US dollars. I swapped it to ETH. I sent it to my MetaMask. I sent it over the bridge. Then like in 20, 30 minutes, I have that ready on the Pulse chain to invest. But if I say, okay, I want to invest this money not in a single move, so in several moves, then I would go Coinbase USDC, MetaMask, bridge it to Pulse chain, and use that then in steps. You know, because if you bridge in Ethereum, you have the risk of the price volatility of the Ethereum price chart, and Ethereum also went down significantly in the last few days. So I don't know if you wanted to buy like Ethereum worth $3,000 a week ago, and then maybe bad timing yesterday at 1,700 you wanted to buy something else. So I don't know if that's the good play. So if I want to have Pulse and Pulse X after the fork with new money, go with stablecoins.
We have the next question from Massimo. What's the best time to acquire PLSD? And does it make sense to swap some of my HEX portfolio in it now? What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I think it's at a good, decent price right now, and why not just swap a tiny fraction, or it just depends on your risk tolerance. If you have a lot of hex, if that's all that you have, I would say pick some up. Pick some up, and hex has ran really good. If you depending when you got in or whatever, and PLSD, it's only up 2x from the launch, so it could have more of an explosive kind of growth in the short term. Maybe who knows? But it's up to you. If you're not holding any yet, try to get to like 1,000. Have a little personal goal. Get to 1,000 Pulse Doge, and then when you're good, maybe DCA more. It's all about just DCAing into the ones you believe in. But yeah, I think I think there's potential on it. So I think right now is a good time to start accumulating.
I like to not make any drastical moves, right? All my hex is staked anyways. My Pulse and Pulse X sacrifice went accordingly to that. And now, since everything is staked, how much can I really buy off PLSD? I will just dollar cost average in for the next couple of months. And I will do that for Pulse, Pulse X, and also for Maxi and PLSD, of course. I just will see where is the best, what went up in price the most in the past, and then maybe I will use that or the other thing. Once we have a chart, then we can make those kind of arguments, right?
Ryan, what do you think of Pulse Doge on the Ethereum chain of the future?
I think that liquidity there may not be much liquidity on there, and it maybe is just a coin primarily on Pulsechain, maybe.
So do you think there might be price parity?
I don't know. I tend to think that the ETH chain, I don't know if it'll have as much value as the Pulsechain one. I don't think, because when I was reading,
if you say like, okay, on the ETH chain there might be just like a tiny little bit of liquidity. So where is the liquidity? And usually the liquidity should be like in a Plsd pair, like from the ETH chain and from the Pulsechain, right? Because that would be like a interesting play that I say, for example, okay, 10% of like from a whale perspective, 10% of a big whale of Pulse Doge can stay on the ETH chain in the liquidity pool, and 90% gets bridged over, and you put the bridged over Pulse Doge and the Pulse Doge from the Pulse chain together into PulseX to mine some of the incentive coin as well, and to create price parity, because then with the high slippage of the small pool of the Ethereum side, arbitrage opportunities might be really rare.
If there is you seem to know a lot on that subject. You should consider maybe becoming a Pulse Doge whale and bridging some over, after the fork.
Well, Patrick is a big advocate for Pulse Dodge. Just on our Crypto Sparbook stream, he was saying it might be the best opportunity for the fork to have your hex in Maxi and Plsd, maybe a 50-50 ratio here.
Yeah, so, especially if your volume is like under $10,000, because I see such a high volatility for the hex price. And I mean, we know. I mean, lots of people already know that this fork is coming, So I don't know if the event that Richard really gives us a date really pushes us up so much. And then, of course, if you go 50-50 Pulse Doge and Maxi, if it ratchets us up so much, then your Maxi might get ratcheted up even more, because there might be buyers of Maxi, and your Pulse Doge will also go up because the biggest pool is with Hex. So you're not making a worse play like beforehand, even if the Hex price goes up, and you might get more Pulse X and Pulse if you go with Maxi or with Pulse Doge, especially with Pulse Doge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, maybe
let him answer. I want to hear Ryan's thought about that.
I think you're very knowledgeable on the bridging and all that stuff. And my play, I'm not really putting too much focus on anything like bridging over things or this, that, or the tokens reaching parity. I'm just going to hold through it and just kind of see what happens and see as it goes, and kind of try to make my own, maybe like adapt or see what I want to do as it happens.
Yeah, but because, for example, after the fork, you already have the copy. So you, what happened? Oh, okay, yeah. So you still have the copy, and then as you might already sacrificed for Pulse and Pulse X, why not create a Pulse Doge Pulse pair? Because even if the people are wanting to get into Pulse, okay, you are losing a little out on your Pulse amount because of the impermanent loss, but you're increasing your Pulse Doge amount on the Pulse chain.
Yeah.
So, and you get all the fees. So
I think it's a great time to become a Pulse Doge whale. I really think it's a great time. It's cheap. It's cheap, and it could turn into a ton of money. I think it's a great opportunity. These are the best times when people are like kind of weary, kind of afraid. There's no admin keys. It's locked in, and the opportunity is waiting. And before I forget, I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to mention Hex Daily Stats. If anyone out there if they haven't seen it yet, check it out. And really big shout out to Togosh. He's the main dev. Yeah. Who does amazing work at maintaining the site. And Kodiak comes in sometimes. He's made a little bit of some comments on GitHub and stuff, and helped out. And we pull mainly from his subgraph. That's kind of how we started You know, just so it wouldn't be possible without Kodiak either. They're both, you know, A+ super sharp devs, both of them, Togosh and Kodiak. So shout out to both of them. Yeah, if you guys, you know, anything, you know, it's right now it's just Hex. You know, we don't have any Hedron incorporated. We don't have any Maxi stats incorporated. We don't have any Pulse Doge stats incorporated. It's just Hex. That's just how it is. And I don't know if in the future we might do some adjustments, but I did see Gerardo has some things on his, but we have a free API if you're interested. You know, come and ask in the Telegram, and it pulls, it updates every day. I think Gerardo uses it for lookintohex.com. StakeHex.today uses it. The guy HSI Watch, he uses it. Hex.com uses it. So, you know, like
the most important, Ryan, is that I use it myself in my Instagram stories every single day. I go to HEX Daily Stats, make a screenshot and show it to my people, because that's where you get all your stats from, right? The price, the t-shirt price and rate, the payout in Hex per t-shirt, all the metrics that you need to know and understand Hex. So I can definitely tell anybody, go there every single day. Awesome. So you see how the numbers are moving left and right, and you understand how Hex is actually working. So Ryan, thank you. You are involved in Hex Daily Stats as well. So thank you so much for your work, and Togosh as well.
Of course.
I think these guys are doing a great job. Well, I do not have any more questions here in the chat. Patrick, is there anything else that you want to talk about more, or otherwise we would
just showed as well, like all the different things you can watch at HEX Daily Stats. It's an awesome site. I use it myself a lot as well. And besides that, no, I don't look into Hex. You also mentioned I liked like the bid ask, the liquidity breakdown, what it shows, the total liquidity also, like combined. So yeah.
Oh, let me show you the best thing about Hex Daily Stats, Patrick. If you go to the site again, and if you look really up there, what is the t-share price today? 21,700 something, which then gives you how much Hex are you earning per t-share. Scroll down and you will see how our Hex per t-share is increasing, right? We were at 4 like 2 years ago, then 5, now it's 6, now it's 618 per t-shirt that we are earning, showing us it is increasing.
But there is like 1.5 million of penalties today, so yeah. So show how it's increasing. So it here bigger penalty day like 6.4, and usually it's like 6.0, 6.0, and with the penalties it goes like a little over 6 always. Let's go here like at 2, and if we go here on 5, here we see like 5.9, 5.9, 5.9, and there you see like how it's like bit by bit increasing over time, because you and me locked in our T-shares at a better T-share rate as today, and therefore we started with this amount of shares in the total pool, and as time goes on, it's harder and harder to get the same amount of T-shares in the total pool. So your percentage of the total pool grows and grows and grows as the total amount of the pool shrinks, and you still have the same amount of T-shares.
So a really useful site. Somebody in chat, Hex Huddle, is saying, yeah, many are using this site. It's very, very useful. So it's thank you guys so much for all your work you do there. Okay, the last question to sum up this chat. What do you guys think? When will Pulsechain launch?
1st of June.
Yeah, my estimation has been June, and I'm just going to stick with June. I think June sounds reasonable.
Richard Hart said mid-May. This is what we are all hoping for, and it can happen.
That's what you were hoping for.
No, everybody's hoping for
since
that.
Richard since Richard said mid-May, I always say he will announce it mid-May, and not that it start mid-May.
Anyways, my point is it's really close. It could happen anytime. People will pull out their liquidity. People will have their game plan ready in which coin they want to hold while the fork.
That's a good question for Ryan. Ryan, what do you think? What happens with liquidity in several coins on the day of the fork?
Well, it's really hard to estimate. I mean, maybe some people might speculate and just and sell. Maybe people just might start selling positions. I don't, they say, oh, the fork happens, and there might be a huge dump, or there might be a huge pump, and then some people might pool liquidity.
I mean, what my question was leading to is that when you are a liquidity provider over the fork, your copy might be pretty worthless because the AMM bot changes your ratio.
So you're saying if you're providing liquidity, if it's already been copied over, then your Ethereum is kind of useless.
No, not Ethereum. It's like, yeah, I mean, if you're in a Ethereum-based pool, but also like if you're in the Hex USDC pool, let's say. So as the AMM bot on the Pulsechain side, the first trade basically is like harvesting all the liquidity and putting it to the PulseX exchange, means that my copied liquidity provider tokens won't have the same value as on the East chain.
So you're saying like the value of the, like, for example, USDC coins or stable coins on Pulsechain liquidity providers, and what that might do for the overall.
Yeah, so for example, if I'm let's take the Hex East pool because it's easier to explain. If I'm liquidity providing in the Hex East pool with the fork, the AMM bot harvests all my Hex out of the pool and inflates the Ethereum side, which is now the Pulse side, in order to get one side of the liquidity out and have those coins to be able to re-put it into Pulse X, right?
Yeah, that stuff's kind of,
if I have like one liquidity provider coin before the fork, and this is representing like, I don't know, 10 ETH and whatever amount of Hex. And then after the fork, I still own like one liquidity provider coin, but that represents way less. Or am I wrong with that? Yeah, no.
I think it's hard to foresee what exactly is going to happen, and I don't really even have any opinions. My thing is I'm just going to wait until it happens, because we've spent the last year speculating. I've been listening in the Pulsechain chats of people. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. Hey, this is going to happen. Hey, this is going to happen. Hey, I'm going to bridge this.
Did you speculate on when Pulsechain launched in the past? Did you do that? Huh?
I speculated a lot on when Pulsechain launched, and I thought it would launch in September 2021. But it is really close, guys. I have to feel it will launch any day. That's my point. Guys have their game plan ready, right? Like in the next couple of weeks, the announcement will come and so on.
I mean, he and me, we are the two biggest idiots when it comes to the Pulsechain launch, yeah, because we even wrapped like a new car into a Pulsechain wrap in September 2000 last year, yeah. Like, I don't know when the chain launches now in June, then September, October, November, December, January.
But you could argue that because
then,
of
like
us,
10 months earlier, we already wrapped a car into the blockchain, which is now launching.
Exactly, and this is why you could argue, because we were advocating for Pulsechain and promoting it on our car. Maybe that's why the PulseX sacrifice was so great.
Okay.
Yeah, could be.
Of course, yeah. Only because of your promotion and our contribution to the community of wrapping a Q7 in Pulsechain, the PulseX sacrifice phase was 3x more.
If you say it like this, of course, it sounds a little bit weird, but it was the whole Hex community that was embracing the car, like helping out. And now look, we have our screen share. If we just bring up the screen share really quick, how beautiful the car looks. Like, we had a Hex car and a Pulsechain car, a Staker app car, driving around for 1 year, making promotion. People, they loved it. They loved the pictures, and I think it drove up the hype.
Ryan, what would be your a supercar what you would like to see on the Million Pulse Tour? So what would be the Pulse supercar in your point of view?
You know what? I've been looking at, like, I've always been into like Land Rovers. I don't know. Like, I like kind of like four, like the four, like the ATV, or like the kind of like SUV style kind of, like cars.
That's why, because you are in rural areas in Brazil and stuff like this. You need four-wheel drive and stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like here
So
R8, like where we are in Colombia, won't fit. It would only be like in the garage the whole
so
time.
for me it would be a Land Rover. That would be my cool, like, wow, that's cool.
Bro, we have a
Land,
Land Rover.
I mean, we have a Land Rover Discovery already, yeah, like on
do
the
you
tour.
really?
Yeah, really.
Kaylin just bought it. It's gonna be one of our cars that we use for equipment and driving around people.
Mhm.
Oh wow, that's amazing. That's
What do
cool.
you think of getting a tour RV?
Of getting in
Amazing.
where?
We're gonna think about
A
that.
tour RV, like a 40 million pulse tour to get a
Like
RV
a,
product.
that would be kind of That would be kind of interesting if you have like the film guys on it, like shooting and recording
Yeah, and
everything. And
merge on it as well. You are able to drive on the campus. You can you have a toilet with you, for especially for ladies. You have you have the merch with you. You can
oh,
provide some snacks. You
yeah.
can take water with you, so you
This
can.
is really
What's the update now on the? Is there another tour upcoming? I thought I saw a schedule, but I'm not sure.
exactly. So
Yes.
everything that you need to know, you find here on the ksb.tv internet site.
TV.
We are planning the Million Pulse Tour. This time we will go to 8 major cities to do workshops, and how the workshops are working this time. Maybe Patrick can talk about.
Yeah.
But this is what I want to show. The next meetup will be June 19th, Mission Beach Car
It's
Show.
a Hex meetup.
HEX meetup, and then already a college visit in June 21st.
Nice. Really
So yes,
cool.
we are really working hard, and then the first workshop will start July 9th, because we really have to have the fork out before we start the next
Yeah.
tour.
Mhm.
Have you
And-
guys considered? Because I know Richard Hart has really pushed for like making paid events or
Yes,
conferences.
we
Have you guys like considered that at all, or is it?
Yes, we have. So those major events will be like a full day event. So it won't be just like a 2 hour workshop. It would be the whole day, and we will charge for that as well.
Nice.
It will cost like at least $65. More likely $100. But as of right now, you can like donate the lowest tier, the shell tier would be a $50 donation, and this gives you the opportunity to select one of your this workshop of your choice, so one of the 8. And what we do there is a full day, so that we really take the people, that we really show them the universe of the crypto market. As you can see here, like 5 different lessons as well, where we start from the beginner level. We will give each and every attendee at the start, at the registration, he will get some dollars worth of cryptocurrencies that they can do everything over their own wallet during the workshop day already. So it should
Nice.
really be more interactive. And what we saw is that people are mostly afraid of making a wrong click within the first few clicks. So let's show them the first few
Yeah.
clicks, like how to buy, how to swap, how
it
to
starts
add.
it starts in July is when it
It
starts.
starts in July. Yeah, the
Good.
first one day, the full day workshop would be
Nice.
the 9th of July,
And it
that's
runs
definitely.
until PulseCon.
No, it runs the whole year, but PulseCon is also like a place where the 1 million Pulse Tour will be. So we will be in Vegas in the beginning of September as well. But the tour will go till end of January 2023.
And you guys, at this point, I want to
Nice.
make a shout out for our Million Pulse Tour, because it is not 100% set in stone yet. We still need the support of the Hex community, because here you see on the left side what kind of speakers we have. We have Crypto Kool-Aid, Big Karkowski, and Black Crypto, just to name a couple of speakers. Ryan Lopez, if you want to, of course, we would like to put you on the list here as well, but I know you're traveling around. But what I want to say, I want to make a shout out to the Hex community. If you want to help us on the tour, with setting up equipment, or maybe be a speaker on our crypto topics, then contact us at KSB TV, so we can make this list a little bit longer, and we can make this Million Pulse Tour happen. And then, of course, the next thing that we need.
Go back.
Yeah.
Go to session 4.
Session 4.
Highlight it a little bit, make it a little bigger. So here, session 4 is like highlighting a Pulsechain feature or project. So we have in our full day, we also have like 1 hour where people from the Pulsechain community, from a different coin, can come to us and say, I would like to present my coin in the session 4. For example, something like Mintra, something like Hedron, something like Maxi, something like Pulsechain. So there are plenty of opportunities which could be featured in this session 4. That's why I am bringing it up. We also have the option for exhibitor
packages, and that's
Yeah.
exactly where I want to jump into. So right now here you see the tiers sponsorship, and Ryan, you asked us that we changed our business system a little bit. The workshops are not for free anymore. They will cost $74 in the future, and right now you can make a shell contribution to go to one of our workshops of the city of your choice for only $50, so you get a big discount here. And then of course there are all the other sponsorship tiers as well, but Patrick was talking about the exhibitor packages, so let's go there. And somebody who would like to embrace the Plsd community or the Pulsechain, Maxi or Hedron community, they could just buy and help with the exhibitor preview package, which is really cheap in my opinion, $300 for one workshop or more for more workshops, what you see here.
Yeah, and if there is anything, if you might have like contacts to your local college because you already have the degree and still are in contact, or you have kids who are actively studying, or you're just a student yourself and you know like how to get in touch to with your local university about how to make a little afternoon event on campus, for example, or wherever a lot of students will be in when the weather is nice, and there are not too much classes going on. So if you have any knowledge in that, please go ahead and contact us directly on Telegram, or let's talk about HEX Scaling on Telegram as well, or just fill out here a form on ksb.tv.
All right, so I have nothing more in the chat. Ryan, thank you so much for coming by to our live stream here, talking about Plsd. Really interesting. The people were asking a lot of questions, and I think the hype is really starting for Plsd right now.
Yeah, it seems like a great time to be a Pulse Doge whale.
I think those were really great last words. I wanted to ask you, like, what are your last words? And I think they were perfect. Anything else you want to mention, Ryan?
No, I think that's good. I'm
Ryan, when are you making your own coin?
Yeah, no, I'd rather just kind of like support ones that are already made that I like. And like I've said, I support Hedron, I support Maxi, I support Pulse Doge, I support Hex, Pulsex, Pulsechain. Mintra might be kind of cool. I'm not really into sacrifice things, but Mintra might turn out cool. NFT marketplace, we'll see. But right now, I think it's a great time to get in Pulse Doge, and it's very cheap to become a whale. It's very cheap to become a whale, and it could potentially turn into a lot of money, maybe, if it really turned into a hit on Pulsechain.
Exactly, guys. But remember, if you decide for one thing, you automatically say no to another thing. So you really have to make your own research, make your own decisions in crypto. Exactly. That's the most important thing. Thank you guys so much. We had so many participants in the chat, a really active chat today. I love that. And we will see us next week.
All right, guys. Thanks, Ryan. And bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye. See you guys.